Hey, what's up, people? So, you know something? I have to really speak to this because it's kind of bothering me. You know, this season, this chapter was very unique. Not to say that you don't have other chapters that are unique, but I really wanted to collect these sprites. I haven't collected really any. Not really any. I haven't collected any. And some people might be thinking, well, how come you didn't collect any? I really wanted to unlock all this stuff. But You know, life got in the way. I just recently talked about how my mom passed away, and that took a large toll on me. I was preoccupied with going to the hospital, looking after her, making sure she's okay. And, it's like I truly had no time to grind out Fortnite and get anything. All of the cosmetics when it comes to Fortnite, I just didn't have time for it, you know? And I don't like to feel that kind of feeling simply because, I feel like it's a missed opportunity that's not going to come back around. But, when you have to take care of business, you have to put stuff, like broadcasting games, whatever it might be out to the world, to the side and take care of what needs to be handled. And for me, missing this season, you know, because I'm not sure how when things are going to be up. Look, man, I'm not somebody who is very keen on knowing everything when it comes to video games. So I don't know when's the last go round or whatever, or hey man, what kind of sprites are still available? Because I literally have nothing. I don't have a single sprite. I don't have the victory umbrella. Um, I was trying to grind to get these different skins. I want to get this Sloan skin. I want to get this John Wick dog. Um, I'm not sure how long they're going to give us till, and I just don't know, man. Like this reminds me of when the superhero season came and went. I didn't think much of it, but I kind of let Mystique pass me by during that time, thinking I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I just wasn't on board with the whole getting all the superheroes, but Mystique, I think she kind of stood out. And I would have got Deadpool if I could. So, missed opportunity. But I'm just like, I'm feeling some type of way, man. Um, Not to say that I can't, try to get some stuff, but it's like, as it stands now, you know, I would have to really grind to get this stuff. And we'll just see. We'll just see, like a lot of stuff I missed out grabbing up for good reason. It's not like I was just letting it collect dust for no reason. Because I recently did a video to where I was like, man, I hate whenever I let video games collect dust. But this is a serious, like what happened was very serious. So I can't just, put that down to get some skin or cosmetic in Fortnite. Like to me, that would sound like that would be the epitome of you need to chill out and go touch grass. Now that's a touch grass moment if I ever did something like that. But I try to stay up on it when it comes to video games. I'm trying to stay consistent when it comes to broadcasting, and this is very much so a missed opportunity. I can grab up whatever I can, but to the larger picture, the larger scheme of things, it's going to be like, okay, yeah, I kind of missed out on that stuff. So, um, and whatever, like you don't want to make it a thing to where you can't step away from the game. I think there's one other um YouTuber, broadcaster, or whatever who plays Fortnite or who used to play Fortnite very heavy. It's this one guy called iTalk, and he plays Fortnite. Well from the beginning, he was one of those people who would update um people when it comes to the item shop. He would do videos solely on that. Big Fortnite kind of fan. I don't know where his opinion is now when it comes to the game, but I think he said something to the effect of, he would miss work just to see the item shop. And I'm sure there's people like that, or like it was something along those lines. And I'm not trying to be at that level, man. Like I never want a game to consume me to where I don't do other things that are, you know, life changing or significant somewhere else. I don't want to hit that level, you know? Like I don't want to love something so much to where I can't separate myself from it. I can't function because I'm obsessed with, okay, well, did I make sure I checked out and grabbed everything? Because I've done this with this game before. Like getting down to the wire, I would try to unlock skins at the very last minute simply because I wasn't paying close attention. But then I would get into this thing to where I would just push myself and push myself and push myself to, grab whatever cosmetic that was only, but it was time limited, meaning you can't get it again. And once it's gone, it's gone. But, I'm just, I don't like that feeling. Whenever I used to do that kind of stuff, I'm gonna be real with you, that kind of killed the game for me. It truly did, man. Like, it felt more like work than fun. And I don't want to have that kind of feeling when it comes to Fortnite or really any game. I don't ever want to play a game and feel like it's done out of necessity rather than enjoyment. Like, I don't want it to feel boring. I don't want to feel like I'm pressured to complete, grabbing up every skin that I can. Well, not unless, now look, if this thing was, making me some kind of significant living, then yeah, we could talk about that. We could talk about staying on the game all day and night and grabbing up this skin and that skin. Yeah, that makes sense, but I'm nowhere near that level now. This is solely just fun. I'm on audience builder mode, but as it stands now, nah, I'm not at that level. So I'm not even paying attention to the mission, man. I'm sitting here trying to figure out what's what. I'm really looking at this like, wait a second, man, what am I supposed to do? I was like, wait, do I go to encampments? I'm sitting here busy making the video. I'm trying to walk and chew bubblegum at the same time here, people. But yeah, I'm just I just don't want I don't want to be consumed by that kind of stuff. Because what's funny? I remember when I was playing RuneScape. And RuneScape was one of those games, those MMO RPG kind of games to where you could get lost in it. You know what I'm saying? And I remember when I was following, it was something, it was like Zybees RuneScape, to where they would tell you how to get certain things. And I remember when I went through, did the whole mission for the amulet, I felt pretty good, getting that stuff. And I felt pretty good unlocking things. But what threw me off, even now to this day, I'm looking back and seeing how much time I burned playing that game. I'm like, man, I truly, burned up days, weeks, months, I would say, playing that game. Trying to get a goddamn skill cake so that I can cook a lobster. We're trying to get a skill cake smithing so that I can smith, ruined bars. And one thing you discover fast when it comes to all that, leveling up and, you have to grab all of these kind of items in order to, sell them for a lot of money. They put those things, in the most riskiest places. And when you try to go farm those things, it's like a couple of them. So even that whole ruin material, guess what, man? It was only a couple rocks. I didn't think it was going to be common for it to be all over the place, but I thought there was going to be an area to where you could really, mine those rocks. Man, this ruin ore was around dragons, and you had people spawning in, fighting for it. You go to the PvP zone to go farm for that stuff. You get shot by a bow and arrow or whatever. You get jacked. Like, you can't just go over there and think you're going to be safe. And then you found out that it's not the strongest armor in the game. So I was like, okay, what am I doing here? But it's all about balance when it comes to these games, And yeah, so to a certain degree, I felt like I was wasting my time. Well, I felt like I wasted my time I feel like I could have did something with all those days, weeks, months, not years, because I wasn't on that game for years, but I was on that game for a decent amount of time. You know, an MMORPG is a dangerous thing for any kind of person who is a introvert, incel, whatever you want to say. Anybody who's not, you know what I'm saying, somebody who's casually out and about, that is one of the most dangerous things you can do, is get addicted to those games. You want to talk about sucking life out of you? Yeah, it's at a whole nother level. I mean, other people might be able to tolerate that. If your life is anything like what mine's was, you better steer clear of that stuff, because it's definitely going to take everything that you are, and, you know, you're going to look up and have nothing to show for it at the end of the day, month, year. Yeah, watch yourself. I remember when there were people on, you know, TV talking about their addiction to video games, but it seemed to always be a video game to where it was like role playing. So yeah, I don't want to hit that level with those kind of games. I didn't want to hit that kind of level with Fortnite. But it still kind of sucks, man, like to miss out on something. But that's all I'm gonna say when it comes to this.